is the data center coming? Is that where things are leading?
No, I mean,
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Excursions with Pat. This episode on Miramichi Talks. So, Miramichi Talk is mostly about sitting down with local residents, business owners, volunteers, whoever has a big part of the community, or who just moved into this beautiful city of ours. So, we mostly talk about what makes Miramichi. So, with no further ado, let's get on with our next guest here with Excursions with Pat. Miramichi Talks. So today's guest has lived in Miramichi for a while. He has a family. Now he's a city council in Miramichi. I'm honored to have Tim Sutton joining me here at Excursion with Pat on Miramichi Talks. Thank you for being here, Tim. And how you doing, my old friend?
thank you for having me. I'm doing great. It's been a interesting summer. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of
Yeah.
learning. It's definitely a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I mean, it's been great. It's been great to be out and see everybody and kind of talk to
Yeah.
everybody and engage with people.
Hey, I understand when you're out in public, man, it's a whole new ball game. People think it's easy, but it's not. And me running my business with my wife, it's not easy, but it does get easier after a while. The more you do it, the better you get it. And you know one thing, Tim, can't please everybody,
And
as you
and
know.
and that is, I mean, I understand that. I mean, as you probably know, as the McPizza guy, and that was definitely a
Yeah,
hot topic because only half people liked it, half didn't. So I kind of learned
yeah.
that can't please everybody no matter what. Same as the pineapple on pizza, which was always one of my favorite questions. It
Exactly.
was very split down the middle on that one. It was
Yeah,
always interesting.
I hear you. But no, like I say, thanks again, man. Appreciate you coming in. But to start it off, could you introduce yourself and tell our listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Well, as many of you has probably have already heard, I'm Tim Sutton. I'm just a brand new city councillor. I've lived here my whole life, mostly in the town of Chatham. I've lived in Douglastown and a few other places around the city. I've worn many hats throughout my life. I worked at Do Engineering for many years.
Yeah,
Most
I work
recent,
right with you, my friend.
Most recently, I was delivering modular homes, which was quite different for me because it was kind of out of my comfort realm, I guess. But it taught me lots. I learned lots about dealing with people, dealing with customers, being on the
Yeah,
road, permits, building permits, stuff along those lines. So it it was kind of interesting because I've kind of been all over the place with what
yeah,
I've done throughout my life, and it always hasn't been an easy ride for me either. I mean, I had troubles
yeah.
in the past, as many people had known, and kind of struggle through them. And even to today, I try to talk to as many people as I can. And I mean, everybody sees it in our community, and I mean, it's a struggle every day. So it hurts me, but I mean, we just got to keep doing, trying to see what we can do to make it get over.
Better. Yeah. No, I couldn't agree with you anymore. And yes, Tim and I, we used to work together back. My God, it must be 10, 15 years ago, if not longer, back in Do Engineering. And time has definitely changed. We got a lot grayer, Tim. And as as myself, I've lived here for over almost 30 plus years now. And now that I'm running my own business, and now you're a city council for Miramichi, can you explain what your role is and what your responsibility as a counselor is? Not trying to put you on the spot.
Well, I mean, our role is mainly to engage with the community, and that's what I wanted to do the most within this role myself. I figured that I was able to engage with maybe some of the people that wouldn't normally engage with city council. And I mean, we're lucky that we have a great city staff, and they kind of coach us through, and they'll give us their ideas and what they think of certain projects within the cities.
Yeah.
But then we have to go out and go on the ground and talk to the people and see what the people really think. And I mean, it's not
Front
always
lines.
it's not always an easy job because sometimes, I mean, you're conflicting views with a lot of people, so it's
Yeah.
interesting in that way. And I mean, the biggest thing we have to do is be an ambassador for our city and try to
Yeah.
be out there and make sure that everybody gets heard, because that's the main thing. I think, like,
Yeah.
Miramichi is a pretty unique place. We have great people here, and
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like our best asset that we have. So as long as we can get out there and talk to the people, we're going to get the great ideas and, get the feedback that we need in order to keep growing and making the city better ultimately in the long
Yeah.
run.
No, I could not agree with you anymore. It's the people that makes Miramichi. It's the community that helps each other to get through every day. And I know with your job and your responsibility, you got a lot of responsibility. You gotta make votes. You gotta say things to better the community, and you pretty much have to grow alligator skin in order to get through the day. But besides that, with you growing up? So you've grown here most of your life, correct?
Yes, I have. I've
Yeah.
grown here my whole
So,
life.
oh, your whole life, yeah. So we first moved here when I think it was 12 years old. I'm 51 now, so you can do the math. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I pretty much lived here my whole life too. So as far as a memory, what's your favorite memory growing up here on the Miramichi? And what were some of the challenges that you faced here on the Miramichi?
I think the biggest challenge I faced here in the Miramichi was always finding, things to do, keep moving along, and ultimately, as most young people would say, finding good work here in the Miramichi was always a struggle. Because I mean, I
Yeah,
was only young when the Army base closed here, the Air Force base closed here in Chatham, and that was a big hit to us. And I think from then on, we were kind of been struggling. But in the recent years, we've been seeing a lot of growth, which is ultimately what we need here in Miramichi. I
yeah,
think the thing that I like most about in Miramichi is, I mean, you don't have to lock your doors as much at night. You're not always worrying. Growing up, I was able to travel around on my bicycle, be able to go to the
well,
parks or go to
you
the
might have
pool.
wanted to lock your door when Alan Legere was around, and that was a scary time.
That was actually a real scary time, but it was kind of an interesting time as well. Like for me, growing up, I grew up just under the bridge on Ellis Street, and
Ah,
when the first Glendenning murders happened, he was staying across the road with his girlfriend at the time. So we can
wow.
distinctly remember him being arrested the first day, and
Yeah.
being over with the RCMP and kind of being in their hair all day, and them taking us for drives. And growing up in that part of town, I learned a lot pretty quick. I mean, it's a lot of people had come through. There's 48 apartments, I think, on Ella Street, and it was a
Yeah.
pretty rough and rugged spot for a while. So you got to see some pretty rough things growing up. And
Well, maybe that's what who you were today. You probably have
also,
tough. You probably had tough times,
and,
and you fought through it, and you made who you are today.
and definitely, but also made a lot of nice, got a lot of good friends along the way. Like,
Yeah.
people I see today, and I think, I see, it was a lot of people's first stepping stone, their first apartment. So it's interesting to see people grow throughout the years, and that was kind of the one part that is nice to see, I guess.
Grew up on the Chatham side. I grew up on the Newcastle side. And how we could sit here and become friends because we're Miramichi. Well, I'm not sure when the city amalgamated. When did they amalgamated the city? Do you remember? I can't remember now.
94. I don't want to
94.
be wrong.
Yeah, I think. Well, 94 is the year I graduated, so it was almost around that time. And now we're a city.
And yeah, like growing up, you would never have expected that to be the thing. You had
No.
Ben's in Chatham, and you had Sobeys in Newcastle. And, if you seen each other on a Friday night, it was generally there was people arguing and fighting, and, it was
Yeah.
the rivalry was. And
Oh
you
yeah.
still kind of see that today. Like,
A little
it's
bit.
interesting, but at the same point in time, I mean, I think we've grown quite well to.
Well, I remember the only rivalry that I played. I played for the Palamus, the hockey. So anytime playing against the Tommies, you know what? It was a lot of fun playing against the Tommies, especially when you play over the LBA. I mean, I don't know what ever happened to you, but I remember getting egged in the face at the Civic Center in Newcastle, and when we played against the Tommies over in Chatham, I remember they were throwing pennies and marbles. Holy, it was a time. It was pretty intense there for a little while.
Yeah, growing up, my brother played high school hockey. He's a few years older than me, and I got to see the rivalry, firsthand.
Yeah,
Kind of, but by the time I got into it, and especially now, it's really tamed down.
it
It's not
has.
the,
Yeah,
it's not what it once was. I guess
no.
it's nice to see in one way, but it is nice to have that school rivalry, especially where you
Yeah,
kind of battle back and forth. And
yeah. That's why it's such a special place to live. Um, so the main one of the questions I want to ask you again is what is it about Miramichi that makes such a special place to live, work, and raise a family?
I think Miramichi, what makes it special to me anyway, is that we have that slower pace to life here, where you don't have to worry as much about looking over your shoulder. And I mean the beauty. I mean, look where we live. Right on the river. You can drive literally 5 minutes in any direction and just be blown away by either an awesome island like Bow Bears, or it could be
Yeah,
up. There's so much natural beauty here. I think that's one of our biggest things that I keep coming to.
yeah,
But I like that we are a smaller community at heart. I mean, it makes it hard in one way because we are, I think, the second biggest city by land mass in New Brunswick.
yeah.
So we are a very large city by area, but we have that hometown feel, and I mean that's always stuck with me, and that's kind of what's kept me here throughout the years.
Yeah, we got that nice, beautiful river that we all enjoy fishing in, boating on, even taking the water ferry across the river, and all these beautiful islands. Middle Island, you got Bull Bears Island. There's a lot of places in Miramichi that people really don't know about either,
And and
and you know,
and that's a crazy thing. Like people, there's something to learn almost every day. I spent a summer being a canoe guide up at Bow Bears Island, and the amount of history that was on this river was amazing.
and
Just the little things I learned, like from them having they used to have a softball field on Bow Bears Island. Like
really,
I can't imagine having to canoe over as the whole community's waiting for you, and then try to play a game. Like that would have to have been, quite nerve wracking for the visiting
I
teams.
bet.
Same as I got to
Yes,
learn quite a bit about why the French came up here and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that was one of the best learning experiences for me. I mean, and the
yeah.
river. I mean, everybody loves the river. I
Oh,
take the
of
water taxi
course.
quite often just because. I
Yeah,
mean,
I used it the other day. I must have been through 2.5 weeks ago. I said I gotta try it out, and I had my dog with me. So, and I just asked. I said, "Am I allowed to bring my dog?" Usually, if it's a service dog or if your dog's well behaved, which he is, he's a good boy. He's a big lab, and he said, "Yeah, girl, come on in." So they had no issues. But yeah, I took it from the Douglastown side and went over to the Chatham. So it was a lot of fun. You get to see underneath the bridge and all the work and all the maintenance and repairs that they have to do.
yeah, it's actually quite amazing all the work they have done and how quick they've been moving along there. My mother
Yeah.
still lives in a house on Ella Street, so they're literally right in
Okay.
her backyard working every day. So you can
Yeah.
kind of go right over and see what's
Yeah.
happening. It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I definitely. Okay, I don't live far, so I can see the bridge from where I'm living, and I can see that the progress is going pretty good. So it is a special place, and we love it here. But one thing I've noticed a lot of is a lot of homeless or unhoused homeless, whatever you, how you want to say that. Um, and I've noticed tents in behind Miramichi Mall, and there's a few other places, even over here in Douglastown. There's Boston Pizza. Somebody caught that in fire the other day,
Yeah.
and there seems to be more homeless people. There seems to be more people on the streets, and not only homeless people living in tents in the woods. I've also noticed them digging through garbage over at the restore place. They're in there digging their spot, and they're in there, trying to find stuff, right? Trying to get money for whatever. And I've talked to a few cops about that situation. They can't charge them, it's it's if they want to go in, they want to go in. But the only time when they can maybe charge them, not even charge them, may ticket them because they throw garbage all over the parking lot and stuff. So my question is, what are the steps the city um, will take to help these guys? And is there any support for them? Because I know you guys also supported and helped out what happened over Cold Crescent, over at the base. Obviously, everybody knows about that. There was 46 residents, and help was definitely spot on. The Canadian, I forgot who it was, Red Cross and the city and the fire department, they're all living at the base right now. I've been doing my homework, Tim. I've been watching you on the city hall, buddy. I've been watching you. You're doing a great job.
They
But I
actually
guess
come together. Oh, go ahead.
but my question is, um, I know what are the challenges to help these homeless or unhoused people, and is there a plan to help them, or do you guys know about that, or what's the situation?
We definitely know about it. I mean, it's something that's talked about quite frequently. I mean, we've
Yeah,
been very fortunate. Miramichi Housing Solutions has stepped up, and I mean, they're doing a great job, doing all they can to help people. I mean, they just started they just started having health clinics in order to have
yeah,
people, be able to get some sort of treatments. And especially, I find the mental health is where we're all lacking. It I'd like to see more in the mental health realm because I mean, I think a lot of the issues with a lot of these people are ultimately mental health issues as well as addiction issues.
yeah,
The hardest part is to show compassion as well as make sure,
yeah.
we're not having a mess in our city or people feeling like they can't walk downtown. And I think that's our biggest challenge is to try to find a good middle ground where we can work with these people to try to help move them into a better situation. But at the same point in time, we don't want tourists or elderly folks or somebody to be scared to walk through a park downtown or to have any kind of nervous like that or to be garbage all over town. Like those things we
Yeah.
can't really deal with.
It's hard. Yeah, I understand it. It's hard to control that kind of stuff. And like I said, I've seen it, and you've seen it. You guys have talked about it. I mean, I've seen it. It's worse in other places like St. John and Moncton. Of course,
And
bigger city, bigger, more people. But it's scary, And we want a place like Miramichi to call home, call it safe, and that's really what it really comes down to is really help your neighbor out. See something, let them know, call for help, and go from there, right?
and I guess I'm very fortunate in my neighborhood because I do have great neighbors. Like everybody kind of looks out for one another. But I live right in the middle of town, so I mean, it's something we see on a daily basis. I mean, I have garbage dumpsters close to home, and I see people in them, and it's hard to watch. But at the same point in time, I mean, other than me going out and offering, a meal or a drink, there's not a whole lot more I can do, to
Yeah,
help them without, being able to get professional help. And that was one of the big
yeah,
things that was actually great with them being housed at the base right away. All the agencies, I think they had over 2 dozen agencies involved right away, and they got quite a few of them housed within days, and they're still working
yeah,
on more. But I mean, it
yeah.
was amazing to
No,
see how many people come together, how quick it come together. Because I mean, it was less than 24 hours. You got to worry about trying to house that many people, feed that many people, ensure health
yeah,
wise they had somebody there to talk to, and
yeah, exactly. And in your situation as a city council, you're able to see all that, and a lot of us we don't really see it. We hear about it on Facebook or word of mouth or whatever it is. And that's the way Miramichi's always kind of been, kind of word of mouth. Somebody, that's how word travels around Miramichi. But now we got so much social media and AI, and you probably know where I'm getting at. And and I know it's been pretty heated lately, and I want to talk about it. And I know you probably can't say too much about it, and we probably could, but I know there's a lot of topics to talk about, all these historical buildings.
Yep.
that are getting torn down or put on hold, and then the place burns down, like the one in Chatham there, the convent place.
Yep.
And then now there's a tender on Hurricanes Academy going to be torn down shortly, to the point where, yeah, it's got to be torn down. It is. I've seen it, and it's terrible. And for whoever bought it and left it, it's shameful. I got a few choice words, but I'll keep it to myself. But such a historical building that's been there for 130 years. This should have been something done. I don't know if the city could have done something, but the city really can't do nothing. You know, somebody buys the building and it's up to them. So besides that, the databases and battery storage facility, and I know it stirred up a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of information that's out there, and we all know you got noise pollution, you got weight, it's going to cause a lot of waste, very environmental, and it's going to use a lot of electricity and stuff.
Yes.
And is that something that we want here in the Miramichi? My opinion, I don't know what yours is. I don't want it here, only because what I've seen, and my daughter, she's a scientist, and she told me, warning this for years. But I'm just here to interview you, just trying to find the scoop, find more, because a lot of people don't know what's going on. Because there was supposed to be a meeting on the 4th, which is in a couple of days, you guys, City Council, for the public to ask questions. So my question is, how's the review going? Have you guys talked to any federal, provincial? Is that something you're going to wait till the meeting on whatever the 4th? Can you talk a little bit about how this came to, and what's, I guess, the outcome of this data center coming here to Miramichi?
So the information session for August 4th, we have canceled it for the time being, or postponed it, I guess would be the best word for it.
Yeah.
We sent back in order to get more information, basically about what is this? How is this going to help us in Miramichi? What's the benefits? What's the downfalls to it? So initially, it was brought to council, the last council, and essentially all they wanted to do was to allow 4 data centers to be placed in heavy industrial zones. And that's basically where it would have ended with us. They would have had to, if an AI data center ever wanted to come to Miramichi, we would have had to have approved it, and it would have had to have gone through the rigorous environmental protections and all those kind of things. I think the community has kind of spoken quite loudly on how they feel about AI data centers. But essentially, we just wanted to have more information, and that's how this all come about. We voted it up in order to get staff, in order to get them, find out about closed loop, and find out about how much water it would take, how much power. There's only so many zones where these could possibly be in Miramichi. However, is it something that we really want?
So I guess my next question is, where are these heavy industrial zones you're talking about? I know it's the old repap location, and then there's one in Chatham, I'm not real sure. And I know as far as their environmental, I know they have to drill boreholes, test the soil and the bedrock. And I didn't know if you knew this or not, but we're on the Rishabukto sandstone formation. I don't know if you know that. It covers around 100 kilometers of the area, and it formed around 300. Little history lesson here. So it formed around 300 million years ago by ancient river sands, which all this whole area was like a tropical sand area before the dinosaurs were here. So, but yeah, so we're sitting on Rishabukto sandstone formation that's from Miramichi all the way up to Rishabukto, that whole area. So we're kind of on settled grounds as we stand right now. And I know as far as the data center, there's a lot of noise. It's like all HVACs, a lot of vibration. I don't know if this will affect it or not. Maybe bring it up. Maybe it's nothing, but I thought I'd bring it up. But I guess my question is the data center coming? Is that where things are leading?
No, I mean, even with all this that was going on, it was only to have the ability to have a data center within one of those zones. But in the foreseeable future, I can't see any data centers coming here to Miramichi. I mean, I can't speak for all my council colleagues either.
Yeah.
I know, the feel of the community itself, I guess, you can feel that this isn't something that the community wants. And I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of us had heard the same things and done our same research, but we also want to get all the information that is out there and get it brought to us so we can
Yeah.
make the best decision. And that's kind of the hardest thing sometimes. Like, early on there was a lot of pushback on this, but at the same point in time, I wanted to hear and know, from the professionals what this was all about, what the downfalls, what the advantages were, how tax windfall, those kind of things. Like,
Yeah. Because I know, I think the biggest reason why everybody was really upset, and I heard about some people harassing and calling you guys, and I don't stand for that at all. Anybody that harasses anybody, I have no respect for that, and that doesn't belong in the Miramichi. So I apologize to you guys, whoever did it. There's no place for it. Were
that's the
you
thing.
one of them? Were you one of them?
I never got to the point of harassment per se, but I got a lot of
Pete?
feedback, let's say, from, family members and mothers and, you know,
Well,
just
that's good, man.
but,
You know
but
why? Because they care. They
but at the
care.
same point in time, I was able to, give them what I knew too, and
Yeah.
sometimes it would make them, say, wow, I didn't know that as well. And, you get to hear from other people, which ultimately will lead me to research more about things or ask more questions. So, I mean, it's,
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing either.
No.
And, a lot of people don't agree on everything, and that's the best way. We don't have to agree, but
Well,
it's, just
like
respect
I
each other at the end of the day.
exactly. And like I said at the beginning of the video, you can't keep everybody happy, but at least you can try to do your best at your abilities or whatever you have in front of you that you can do, right?
And I mean, I got two
So
young kids, so a lot of my thought process goes into, how is this going to affect our future generation, and because I mean, and we have to all look towards that, grandparents and
yes,
parents, and
because
it's
when we're dead and gone, it's our kids that they step up and they're going to run this world when we're not here. So we got to teach them the right way of things.
exactly.
So we're gonna keep off the topic, and I'm gonna get you off the coals there. I know I gotta. So we're gonna do something a little fun here, buddy. It's called Miramichi Rapid Fire. So what this means is answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. All right. Newcastle or Chatham?
Douglastown.
Okay.
I'm a Chathamer. I'm a Chathamer. So, but
Okay. Okay. River or woods?
river, definitely.
River. Okay. Sunrise or sunset?
I'm more of a sunrise person. I like getting up at the crack of dawn and kind of having a little bit of peace in the morning before everybody else is around in my house.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I'm an early bird at 6 in the morning. Grab my cup of coffee and go.
Yeah.
Uh, best season.
Fall, for sure. Fall.
Fall.
Anybody that sees me sees I'm not built for the summertime. I'm always very warm in the summer. I mean, most people know me. I ref hockey for 25 years, so I'm a
Yes.
cold weather person.
Yes. I remember seeing you a lot. I seen you a lot wearing those black and white stripes a lot. How'd you enjoy that? Is this something you enjoyed doing?
It was fun. I mean, I had a good connection with a lot of the younger people. I mean, it like just like city council, it was one of them hard things where you heard a lot from people, whether it be at Walmart, and they tell me you give Johnny a penalty and it shouldn't have been, or they.
Yeah.
But I mean, I found it pretty rewarding and pretty fun. I mean, I got big shoulders, so for
Oh
the
yeah,
most
for
part, it
sure.
wasn't too bad.
Yeah. All right. Favorite local restaurant.
Oh, I don't want to get in trouble for this.
Okay, name. I'll give you.
I
Give
really,
me. Give me two. Give me two.
well, I'm a big fan of eating out. Actually, I eat out probably 2 meals a day.
I think we all do.
Yeah, I like Hennessy's. I go there quite often. We go to Mike's
Okay.
Bar if we're going out, or Donahue's. But for a quick snack, we go to AJ Lagman's quite often. And I mean,
Yeah.
my favorite probably
Yeah.
overall is Ed Sub's Poutines. I mean, I think they're a 10 out of
Oh.
10.
Yeah. You know what? Really, I mean, especially with the closure of the Centennial Bridge, as you know, that's another hot topic. But we're not going to get to that. So it really depends where you are in that day. It really depends where you're going to eat. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
And for
So
us, like on this side, there's not really a whole lot of late night food. So you have to think
no,
early on in the night, am I going to want a snack later on? So
exactly.
that was the one thing
All
about
right.
losing Ben's.
Oh, I know, man. What do you used to call them? The sliders? They hated that though. All right, so last Miramichi rapid fire. McDonald's pizza or Delicious pizza?
There's no question. And
Now tell me the story of that. I knew you always dressed up as a big pizza guy, and I'm gonna find that picture and I'm gonna post it on this video. But tell me the story. Like, how did you even get to this McDonald's pizza? Because I know
well,
you wanted it back or something, but you go ahead.
it all started with just a one-off post from McDonald's. They talking about a new menu item was coming back, and instantly I thought, "Wow, McPizza!" Because I mean, I'm not a fan of McDonald's hamburgers, which a lot of people don't know. So I don't have many options there. It's French fries, chicken nuggets. So I'm thinking, "Wow, pizza's coming back, so I'm going to have something else I like at McDonald's." And yeah, I commented that, and it just kind of took off from there. And wow, it's it's been pretty wild. I've been all over the place with my McDonald's pizza signs, from here to Moncton to Halifax to Blue Jays
That was
games and Maple
well.
Leafs
That was
games, and
that was not the only thing you did. You also did these. You went to street signs or something. That was something else that you did too. You're
that
very
was
creative. I've never thought like, yeah, that was something else.
looking back at the videos. I wish I would have done it maybe a little bit different, just because of the quality. I didn't realize they were going to take off like that, but I did. I did a whole series of dangerous neighborhoods. So
Yeah, 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 that's
go
what it was.
I would go into a community and essentially find five of the most dangerous neighborhoods or streets to go to. And I mean, it wasn't a pick at neighborhoods that were less fortunate or anything like that. As
No,
I would
no, I
generally try to
understand.
pick my friends' houses, or a mayor's
Yeah,
house or whatever. I mean, and that it took me all over. I've done Sydney, Nova Scotia, and Halifax, Moncton,
yeah,
every community I can think of in New Brunswick, I think.
yeah. Well, we're gonna close it off there. I got a few more questions before we close this. Miramichi talks off. Um, what's one piece of advice you would give to the younger generation today?
One piece of advice I'd give to the younger generation today is to work hard and always have a smile on your face. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you always got to be friendly to your neighbors. And if you're a good neighbor, people are going to be a good neighbor back to you. And I think that's the main thing that people are getting away from, is, that neighborly feeling. Like, I make sure I say hello to everybody. And I always have, even long before this. And I think just that can make somebody's day. And I like to see more of that.
If you could leave Miramichi residents with one message about the future of our city, what would it be?
I think with our city is on path for a good future. I mean, we did have some rapid population growth, which I mean was hard on us, but we're starting to catch up with housing.
Yeah.
And I think we're on a pretty good course, we've grown exponentially as people have seen in the last few years, and that's what we need here. We needed that growth in order to have more revenue, to fix more streets, or fix, to be able to do the things that we want to do in the city, open multiplexes, things along those lines.
Yeah. No, like you said, we both lived here our pretty much our whole life, and all these mills shutting down. I used to work at the Akon Plywood. I had friends that worked at Repap, and all these places getting shut down, and then you have Ardbeg. They're still going, but sometimes they close because of markets and stuff. But as what you just said, I do see a big difference, that a difference of our city moving along. It's not really a retirement village anymore. I think we're kind of past that right now. There's more young people staying. I do see it, a better future for the Miramichi. It's a little slow going, but you do see a move coming.
Yeah.
So, Tim, where can we follow your work and learn more about you? Do you have any information, how they can follow you? Anything about the city, and they'll maybe learn more about you and perhaps the city?
Well, I'm a pretty prolific poster on Facebook, as most people know. I usually post quite a bit of my opinions. A lot of the city events and stuff I'll post on there. But one thing I do, or I think we're all fortunate with, is our new mayor. She's a wealth of knowledge, and she's always out there putting information out there. And I think if you follow along, follow what she's doing, I really enjoy how she's taken the city and being more transparent with what we do or why we do certain things. And I think that's the best way you can stay up to date.
Yeah, I guess the worst thing you can do is stay quiet. And I've noticed that you guys are out there now. I'm seeing videos. Well, I go to the city of Miramichi and watch council meetings. Course, not live, whenever I get a chance. And I've also seen the mayor Arsenal's videos, and I've also seen a lot of your comments and what you share too. I don't know if you do little videos or not, because you were thinking about it, but you said the mayor has been doing quite a bit of it. You may or may not do it. So
Yeah, well, I had planned on staying right up to date, with maybe a weekly live or weekly updates, but I have to say that Mayor Arsenault has done such a great job that I think she's hit it right on the nose with what people wanted to see and what people need to see. I think more than anything, people need to know why these decisions are being made, or why things go certain ways. It's simple as the data center. Like, people needed to know, this is why we're making these decisions, just to find out what our information is, and get the
yeah.
right.
So I was going to end it right here, but I have to ask, the multiplex, how is that going? I'm pretty excited. I just live up the road here. That's got to be. I know there's a little bit of delay. Is there plans for that to open up sometime in the end of November? Is that still a goal? Is that the still timeline?
The timeline was still, this fall. If you follow our city council meetings, you've seen we have kept open the other facilities in the meantime, in order to ensure that there's going to be
Yeah,
services for everybody. But it's coming right along. I mean, there's always a little hiccup here and there, and with
of
anything, but
course.
but
Yeah.
it is a beautiful building, very big, state of the art, and I was amazed when I got to see the inside of it. It's going to be a treat for a lot of people.
But I like to thank you, Tim Sutton, for joining me here. Miramichi Talks.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure. It's always great to get out there and let people know, what's going on, and let people
Yeah.
know, you know, why cheese pizza is my favorite. People don't always know that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like again, thank you very much, my friend Tim. Perhaps I can get you on again later on if you would like to come back on my show again.
Anytime.
Right on, my friend. Well, take care, and we'll see you next time, man.
You too. Thank you.
Take care, bud.
Bye.
So you heard from Tim Sutton. I'd like to thank Tim again for coming on my show, City Council of the new City Councillor for the Miramichi area. If you guys like this video, hit that like, hit that subscribe. It would greatly appreciate it. And let me know below how you feel about Miramichi and all the stuff that's been going on. And if you'd like to join my show here on Excursions with Pat on Miramichi Talks, leave a comment below or message me on Facebook or here on YouTube. But I'd like to thank you all for coming in again. Have a great day, and until next time, take care.